What is going on, guys? Aarava here, bringing you some more news about F1 2015 in the form of some in-game screenshots from an Xbox One version. Now you can see straight away on screen right now we've got basically the new setup layout for choosing your tyres. Now obviously we know that you change your setup with the tablets, and as well as changing your car setup, you obviously have to choose your tyres for the race, for qualifying and whatnot. So here you can see that they're choosing the tyres, and you got all the kind of neat new graphics for it. So option, prime, intermediates and wets, and you actually get to see a bit more of a kind of, it just looks a bit more kind of tidier, a bit more of a more professional kind of layout of viewing the tyre graphic. In terms of the tyre graphic as well, you can see the amount of wear, the amount of kind of difference in conditions you're going to get if you put on the tyre right now. The next screenshot is one we've sort of seen already, but a bit more high def this time, where you hand the engineer your tablet, or he's giving you the tablet, and you can see on the left-hand side as well, on the actual monitor itself on the actual car now, instead of the setups being there, all that's going to display is basically yourself, your timings, the sessions timings, the live timing screens. That's also where you're going to view the replays of any drivers around on track, how you can go on board with other drivers on track, and you can see the weather conditions so far, but everything else in terms of the setup and the tyres will all be done on the tablet now. As we move on to the next screenshot, we can see now this kind of car screen. As you can see, it's sort of similar to what we've been used to with Codemasters games. So we've got your position and your kind of difference to the other teams. You've got the objective in the bottom left. You've got the circuit, and this time the circuit tracker actually labels which driver is which on the circuit tracker, so you can potentially see where your rivals are potentially in, in single player and whatnot. And hopefully online you'll be able to see where each individual online player is. So if you're racing your teammate, you're racing your championship competitor online in a league or something, you can see where he is on the track layout. And then we've got some weather, and it looks like the weather's a lot more detailed. You can see the actual, what the actual temperature is going to be, the actual physical number of what temperature, they're predicting for it's going to be. I'm not sure how accurate that's going to be. Obviously, we've seen in the past with the Codemasters weather systems where it might say like 100%, and sometimes it really isn't. So we'll have to see how accurate that is, but I guess it's never truly accurate in real life either. So we've got the, degrees of centigrade of temperature, you've got your air, direction and kind of speed, I'm guessing that is. So you got all the different sort of parameters for weather this time, and not just, heavy rain 100%. You've actually got some actual numbers to it. As we move on, this is how you're going to be able to see other drivers' replays, and not even replays, rather, the live onboard feed. So you can be sat in the garage, and you can watch the drivers leave the garage, you can watch them on track, you can watch the AI drivers do whatever the hell they want to do. So this time we'll actually be able to see really how the AI are acting. You could potentially even pick up some tips, maybe from the AI, because obviously, if you're starting a lower car, the higher AI cars are going to be a bit more skilled than the lower AI cars compared to your teammate or whatnot, and you can maybe pick up a few tricks and tips here if you're losing massive amount of time. I know in the past there have been a few circuits here and there on the Codemasters games where the AI are so damn good through some of the sectors, and you're just scratching your head of how the hell do they gain that much time. And you can maybe go on board for an entire lap and kind of study it almost and see where they're getting time. Or also you can do this for the online lobbies for league races. This will be very important. This will be a big game changer for how people go throughout qualifying in terms of the issues with corner cutting and track extending. Now that anyone can view your lap at any point in qualifying and practice while you're in an online lobby. Obviously not in the race because you're too busy racing, but while you're doing qualifying and practice sessions online, people can view you, they can view all of you, the entire grid. So if you've got the person who's hosting the league, if they just want to check up on everything, they can look through every single driver. If you've got a rival in your online, you can kind of look at him maybe and kind of pry and spy about stuff. And that also then plays into the factor, if you're in a practice session with your competitors, are you going to be going flat out, or are you going to kind of be sandbagging a little bit like they do in real life, because that they could be watching you and they might be picking up on what you're going to be doing or what kind of things you're going to be trying out on circuit. So it adds a sort of another dynamic. I don't know if people actually go that far into terms of maybe sandbagging because they know people are watching. I don't know how many people will actually watch each other, but it definitely is open to, if you want to, you can do that, and you can study other players and indeed AI for career mode. Moving on to the next screenshot, just another high-def kind of picture of just Vettel in his garage. There you can see on screen, right ahead is the monitor with your, all the information apart from the setup for the tyres and whatnot. And then we move on to the next one. We got finally a high-def picture of the actual setup menu, like I've done in a previous video where I showed you guys the setup menus for the first time. Here's finally a high-def version for you. So just the normal, usual stuff. It looks like pretty much everything, in terms of the actual parameters you can change, it looks like it's all pretty much the same in terms of 1 to 11 scaling. And also they've added the tyre pressures in this year, but that's the only kind of new thing exactly. And you can put in amount of kg of fuel instead of just a few laps. You put in the kg of 100 kg, obviously, that you're allowed in the full race. And then finally, as Vettel is leaving the pit lane, it looks like now when you're on the pit limiter, your car will actually tell you on the dash, you'll see in red pit limiter. So that's just kind of a little tiny little detail, just kind of nice to see that, you know, you can see it nice in red and bold there that you're on the pit limiter, and then when it releases, you can go out of the pits and just gun it. Another thing I noticed as well, when you're making a pit stop, they actually show you the entire time that you're in the pit lane now. So instead of just showing you that you've got a 3.7 pit stop, it will show you the entire time. So Australia, I think it's about 20 seconds in the pit lane. So it will show you the entire 20 seconds, and then it will show you the breakdown of it was a 2.7 pit stop, but this was your full pit stop time in terms of in the pit lane. So you can actually properly calculate how long it is going to take for you to make a pit stop then. Because if in practice, if you go and do a kind of simulation pit stop, maybe if you're just going through the pits, you can maybe try and calculate, or from previous races, you can sort of calculate how long it's going to take you to go through the pit lane, and then you can maybe factor that into your race strategy. You know, if you can see that the driver behind you is, you know, so-and-so seconds behind, and you know that it's going to take this long to go through the entire pit lane, then you can sort of calculate if you can afford to pit now, or maybe you need to push, or maybe you need to just drop back and maybe kind of just accept that you're not going to make it out in front of him. So that's just another little detail. But that has been all for today's video for F1 2015 news. Some screenshots there. We are very, very close to the release, guys. I know it's very, very annoying to kind of be so close yet so far. A lot of you guys on Twitter all agreeing with me and whatnot, and we just all can't wait to get our hands on it on Friday, or indeed Thursday midnight if you're staying all the way up till there to hit it on the mark on Friday. But I'm very pumped. I can't wait to make content for you guys on the game. But so far, this has been today's video. Just some really nice screenshots showing you the kind of replay system. That's going to be very, very interesting to use in career mode, perhaps. But yeah, I've been aarava. If you did enjoy this video and found it informative, then smash the like button. Subscribe if you're new around here for daily Formula 1 content. Comment below on what you thought of these screenshots. And I've been aarava. Home Joris today, and I'll see you guys next time.